Good afternoon. It is afternoon. I had to check that. I just wanted to come on today to talk about myself a little bit and kind of play around with some of the products that I have received since I got my presenter's kit. I've watched videos. I've been going through the training. I am trying to accomplish the tasks that they've assigned, and at the same time think about how I'm going to apply that to my new business. I'm super excited about it, and it just doesn't seem to be going fast enough. So I thought, you know what? Surely other people that are just getting started like I am feel the same way. And we've got obstacles in our way, and we know that somehow or another we've got to work in all these obligations and still get this business up and running. My sponsor, Tiffany Soma, yay Tiffany, has gone to Las Vegas, and she has shared some of those inspirational presentations, and I have watched a few of those, and I'm anxious for her to get back and go through some more of those with us. I'm just super duper happy about that. In the meantime, I went through my kit again, and I was looking at things, and I think last time I talked, we saw that there's this little brochure that comes in the presenter packet. It's called Why Family, and when you open up the page, one of the things that you see is a little introduction from the sister and brother group that started, and I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with their names yet, but I will be. But what attracted my attention was this right here, our mission: uplift, empower, and validate. And I got to thinking about that, and I didn't originally start with the idea of selling unique. I actually started with the idea of, maybe this would offer me a little bit of income at some point, but right now I need the product. I want the product. I want to be able to try out different things and use it in different ways. And as I'm aging, my needs are changing, and so I thought, let's just see what they have and let's go with that. And so that's what I'm going to do to start with. I'm going to see what Unique has, what they have to offer, and I'm going to try their products, and I'm going to show them to you when I do that. And as I do that, I hope that maybe it will be something that you might think about getting involved in also. This is an opportunity that I was not expecting, and it may be one for you as well. So, I'll post my when I put this on Facebook, I'll post my website, and if you have questions, let's talk about them together. Maybe we can help each other answer questions, or maybe I have some of those answers already. But regardless, I welcome your questions. And now let's kind of get started with what I think that the products that I have, and put a face on. I already have one, but let's put a face on. Okay, so I've already washed my face, and so now I'm ready to moisturize and tone, and so what we have in the kit, that comes in the kit, is this toning rose water. And so I'm going to give that a try. It's just a spritzer, and you hold it away from your face, and you can spritz it, several times a day if you need to, or want to. And so what I'm going to do is just go ahead, and it comes fully closed, so you have to put the little spritzer in it. So that's what I'm doing right now, just kind of opening it up for security's sake, for cleanliness sake. It's got a lid. Let's see. So I'm just going to kind of spray it off here. There we go. And it says, you know, hold a few inches away from your face and spray a few times. There we go. Feels like that's good enough to me. And just because I'm used to it, I have a little fan here, and I'm going to use it to help dry this along. Okay. And the next thing that I'll do after this dries and, you know, we're able to go on is I've had this for a long time, and this is the primer, and I use this all the time. I mean, if I didn't have the primer before I put my makeup on, I would look like I used to look, where my makeup was, you know, kind of dripping off my face, and honestly, I think this helps to not take my makeup from my face to someone else's face or clothing. Have you ever gone up and hugged somebody and gotten your makeup all over their shirt, and they're fixing to go into a meeting and you're like, oh gosh, I did that. I'm so sorry. So I eventually got to a point where I just wouldn't hug people because my makeup was just transferring. And when I started using Unique, and that was one of the things that really attracted me to the foundation, is it does not transfer. I could hug 10 people and it's not going to transfer, and I love that. In my workforce, I meet people frequently, and I'm a hugger, so yeah, not a good combination. So let's go ahead and put this primer on. I think I'm dry. Yeah, and that feels really good. It feels kind of like I don't know, like an extra layer. So let's see. When you do the primer, I always put it in the palm of my hand, and then I just kind of spread it all over. You don't need a whole lot, but I do use it on my eyes as an eye primer as well. So can you see that okay? Very, very little. I don't have very much at all. And so what I do is this. Just kind of rub it together, and there it goes, all over. And I love the way this primer feels. It's like soft and silky, and the other thing that I really like about Unique is that very few of their products have a scent. Or if they have a scent, it's not a real strong scent, so you know, you can combine them and not worry about, you know, walking in somewhere and having this scent everywhere. And so another thing that I got in my presenter's kit were these shadows, and you know, that go in the palettes that they sell. And these are the colors that I got. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have to put my glasses back on to see the names. So this one here at the corner is Agile, and Slick, Fervent, and Optimistic. And I don't know if you can see that very well, but this one shimmers. This is the Slick. It shimmers really well. And so does the Optimistic a little bit. Not quite as much, but they both. And look how well these blend. This is what you get in your presenter's kit. So this is fabulous. And I'm going to be using those with the nice little Unique brush that was sent also. Sorry, I've already kind of used it a little bit, playing with it. But it's got the applicator and kind of the fine line eyeliner spreader, and then I'll be blending with the Unique blender brush that I already own. So let's go ahead and do the eyes, and forgive me if I get my mirror in the way, but I will try not to. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to start with the Optimistic. That's the light color right here, and I'm just going to put that, I like to put that on the the top of my eyes. Wrong end of the brush there. And like I said, everybody does this a little bit different. I know many people who put their eyebrows on first. I do it this way, and then I just kind of clean up afterwards. And then I'm going to go in with this one at the end, right here. It's called Agile. And then I'm probably going to do some Fervent in my crease and maybe at the edges a little bit, okay? So let's do that. I have a pretty prominent brow bone, so the idea is for me not to look so hooded, and I do that by making sure that I make the outside of my eye here a little bit darker than the inside. And this is a little darker than I'm used to wearing during the day, but I'm going to tell you a funny story about that. I have a coworker that when I was thinking about starting to sell the Unique, I started wearing my makeup a little heavier, I guess you could say. And she came up to me one day and she said, "Your makeup looks really good." She said, "I'm surprised that you're wearing makeup." And I just kind of looked at her and I said, "I wear makeup every single day. You don't see me without makeup on." And she just kind of got this blank look on her face, like, "Really? You wear makeup? I see you wear lipstick, but I don't know that you wear makeup." And I was like, goodness, I guess I've been a little bit too light. So this is a nice color. I like these color combinations. And as I say, this is my first time to try these colors. I do have a palette. Don't know what number it is, but I do have a palette of Unique, and I anticipate that as I get further along, I'm so bad at names, as I get further along, I'm going to actually know what all these are by memory, but currently I do not. So there we go. That's kind of what I'm going to do. And as I blend it in, I think it'll come down in here a little bit and make that not quite so white. I do like to have it lighter right up the center. I think that kind of highlights your mascara a little bit and all the lovely work that we're putting in to look pretty, right? So that's that. I like it. If you can, let me know what you think. If you would please, I would appreciate it. As I say, until I get used to Unique, I'm going to be playing. That's basically what this is. This is trying their products and putting on things and finding out what I like and what works for me, and how I might be able to apply it to others and their needs. And you know, I think I'm gonna have some fun. Okay, so with the I don't have a Unique eyebrow kit yet, but I hope to get one. So what I've got is This is, I never say things right, but this product is the NYX eyebrow pencil, and I get it in blonde, and of course it's got a little spoolie, and I really like little spoolies when I do my eyebrows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline where I want my eyebrows to really show up. I'm going to color in kind of the edges, and then I'm going to fill in with a little bit. I have a unique pencil of, let me see, I think this is just a brow liner, and I'm not sure, but let me see. Sorry, should have been more prepared. It just says Moodstruck Precision Brow Liner, and the color is medium. So got a little bit of that left, and I'm going to use that to kind of fill in. So let me do the outline, and I'm going to try to keep my mirror down here low enough where you can at least see what I'm doing. And you see it's pretty light. I like the blonde because I've got dark eyebrows. Really all I need is a filler. And I can tell you from years of plucking my eyebrows, they are what they are. They're not going anywhere. They are permanently in this shape now. So just know that, you know, as you pluck your eyebrows, as you get older, you eventually end up with the shape that you've chosen. Unless you do something like microblading, you know, that's going to change that. So, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and use my spoolie here to brush my hair up a little bit. And you know, this is when I like to put my makeup on during the day, where you got the natural sunlight showing, and you get to see a lot more of your face. And of course, you know, the more light I have with aging eyes, the more light I have, the better I see. So I have found a brow hair that I'm going to pull out. Yeah, I didn't like where that was located, right in my pretty little eyeshadow there. Okay, so I'll come back and I'll probably use the spoolie again in just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and get the brow liner and kind of fill in. This is where, you know, you go up, because that's where your eyes grow, your eyebrows grow up there. And they say that you're supposed to put the lighter color, you know, predominantly inside, that's the way our eyes grow. But, you know, I just want mine to be all one color. And so I kind of fill them all in, all the way down. And then as I'm doing my eyeshadow, if I don't think that it's worked quite well enough, I'll do it some more with some just some eyeshadow. So let me get my spoolie. I'm going to kind of mix that in. I'm learning how to take that edge and not make it really strong down here. Okay, so that's eyebrows. So now I'm going to take a black eyeliner, and this one that I happen to pick up at H-E-B. Can I say that online? Sorry. It's just a a black liner that's, you know, there we go. So I don't even know what that says. John Dana maybe. Okay. I like soft liners. I do not like something that's hard that pulls on my eyelid. And so what I do is I just kind of line the eyelid, and I was looking at a video about older skin and how to not make our face look older as we've aged. So it talks about how where your last eyelash is, just give it a little up, and that draws your eyes up instead of down. So that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna try this. And oh, sorry, I have eye. My daughter says eye boogers. Sorry. So I just kind of line barely above the lashes. And yeah, it's kind of spotty, but it's okay because I smooth it in. And so then I'm going to do this one. Just a soft line. And then I'm going to go up, and you see this mistake that I've made here. Don't worry about that. We'll get that. And just kind of go up a little bit right there where my last lash is. Just kind of go up. And I like to go all the way to my crease. So that's what I'll do over here too. Okay. The best that I could see, that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and get my unique brush again, and I'm just going to smooth it out. I'm going to do that on both sides. And you see it kind of, I do kind of push it up. I like that. Some people may not. You can leave it just on your eyelid. I like it to go up a little. My challenge is to make them even. There we go. Okay, so the next thing I do is I get a real skinny brush. I don't know, people call this a lip liner brush, you know, fine line brush. I don't know what the proper name is. I just know it's a skinny brush, you see, and it has a little angle on it. Okay, and so what I do with that is I'm going to get my palette that I have from Unique. I get my shadow palette, and this does not tell me what number it is, I don't think. But anyway, somebody's bound to recognize it and tell me what number it is. And I apologize, you can see that I use this thing a lot. I got powder all over the place. Okay, so I'm going to use this for two things. I'm going to use this color right here. It's called Forthright. It's flat. And I'm going to fill in my brows a little bit, and then I'm going to put a little as a liner on the bottom. Okay, so here we go. I have a mirror in the back, so if it looks like I'm looking up, that's what I'm looking at. Is that mirror in the back. Kind of gives me what it looks like from a distance, so I like that. When you get right up close, sometimes it's hard to be perspective about what it is you're actually doing. So I like to look at the distance mirror. And then, of course, as I said, have a little bit on my brush, not a lot. And I'm going to get my little magnifier again. Make sure that I did the top okay. And I'm going to go let me get a Q-tip first and straighten up what I've done down here. I smudged my eyeliner and it went down below. And this is where I'm going to straighten up this corner as well. Okay. So, you know what? I don't have any base on yet. I think I'm going to wait for this for just a minute. I'm just going to leave the powder on it and set it aside for now. And I'm going to go ahead and put base on. I'm going to use one of the new colors from the Presenter's Kit. I did go ahead and take off the primer, but I think it's the same as what I have, so I chose not to use it. But this color, I usually do up here in this range, like this one, or velour. Both of these are velour. And then what I'm going to do now is kind of one in the middle that I think is a little bit darker than this that I usually use, which is the, I have Scarlet. You can see very little Scarlet. And then I have the velour. Nope. That's not velour. I have the Scarlet and Organza. And so the Organza is this one right here. So you can see I went from Scarlet to Organza, you know, 2 shades. I was trying to use basically the difference between, you know, shadowing and not. And so I have those, but I want to try something for summer or for this season. You know, I don't really tan, but I do naturally get out in the sun and it does change the color of your skin. So I didn't want to go so light, so I'm going to try a different color. And this color that I'm trying is called Eyelet. And so it does kind of look like maybe it's my color with a little bit, excuse me, I keep pointing to the wrong one. It's my color with a little bit of tint. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try that one and see how that looks on me. And you see the package is really small, and that's because it takes very little when you've done your face right. So I like to use my fingers. I do not use a brush, not very often. I do kind of blend, but I'm going to go ahead and put this in the palm of my hand. And then I use just my finger, and I'm going to just tap. This is also a way, in my opinion, to, you know, clean up anything I've done for messing up my eyes, or it's a way for me to see how much coverage I want, is when I'm doing it with my fingers. This is a little bit darker than I usually use, so I'll probably use a concealer type method to lighten it up a little bit. Yeah, I think this one is not, it's kind of outside my box. Okay, so now I'm going to get my well-stained, and I just kind of lightly, you know, your weakest fingers, just kind of lightly rub it in. And I do carry it down into the chin area just for smoothing's sake. And I want you to see how much I still have from this package on my skin. I could probably do another face with as much as I've got left. Okay, so let me lay this over here. I'm going to get a Kleenex and wipe off my hand. And I could use the wipes if I wanted to for this, but this will do for now. Okay, so now I'm going to get my blending brush. I just got to find it. Sorry, there it is. And I'm just going to tap, well stained, tap, tap, tap all over where I applied the base. And I do this because I don't like there to be any chance of, you know, having made it heavy one spot and light in another spot. And this gives me an opportunity to see that. You know, like if I want to touch up around my large pores, around my nose, I can do that. Let it dry a second and then come back and address that. Okay, so this kind of blends it in. And as I said, I'm going to use, this is a foundation that I'm going to be using kind of as a toner, and glasses. Let's see, this is NYX Total Control is what it's called. Drop foundation. And that, you see how very, very light that is? And I think the color is called Vanilla. So I'm going to use this as kind of a concealer, and it drips, so I need to have my brush. This is the one time that I do use a brush to apply makeup. Sorry, let me find it. There we go. Okay, so I use just a little flat brush that I blend with. This has a dropper, you know, because it's a base. But like I said, it's very liquid. So if I apply too much, it definitely will leak all over my face.